Hi guys, my name's Christine, and today I'm talking about this is why most people are lazy and unmotivated. So, what's really cool about this is that once you recognize what people that are unmotivated and lazy do, it's very easy to combat that then within yourself. Because this is what I found. I was thinking, okay, so how can I make this video? How can I talk about, people that are lazy and unmotivated and the reasons why they are like this? And of course, the best thing to do when you're, thinking about these things is to think about your own behaviors and to think about those times when you felt lazy and unmotivated, and basically, what it took for you to be lazy and unmotivated. So once you realize what these key things are, then you can do the opposite of that if you don't want to be one of these people that are lazy and unmotivated. Okay, so the first thing that I came across in my own sort of like research and, reflecting back on my own life and stuff, is that one of the main reasons why a lot of people are lazy and unmotivated is because they don't really have a clear goal that excites them, that is emotionally compelling to them, that makes them feel excited, that makes them want to get up in the morning. Okay, because some people take on goals and take on life choices that other people have imposed on them. So they have all these goals and dreams, but they're not their goals and dreams. It could be the goals and dreams of their parents or expectations of their peers and things like that, and their friends. So one of the reasons why a lot of people are lazy and unmotivated is because they don't have a goal that excites them. Okay, because if you've got a really exciting goal and you've got a dream that you really want to fulfill, then it pulls you and makes you want to do it. Okay, it's almost like the goal motivates you and stops you from being lazy. Okay, now of course not all the time, because there are going to be days where you don't feel well, where you feel really tired, and sometimes a lot of people can actually push through those times, but other times you might be so tired or so unwell that obviously you need to take a rest and you need to take a break, which is of course absolutely fine. It might not be the case that you're going through one of those things. It could be that you're going through a grieving process. Maybe someone recently you loved passed away, or they got a diagnosis that wasn't great, because what you got to understand is that life is full of tragedy, unfortunately, but it was also full of joy too. There's just as much tragedy as there is joy. I don't want to be too gloomy, but every human life is tinged with grief and, bad things, because it happens, okay? You can't live through this life and not have these things happen to you. And yes, they do stop us in our tracks, okay? So it's okay to have a day. It's okay to even have a couple of days where you don't feel that great. But as long as you get back on the horse, then of course that's fine. And your goal, if you've got a goal that really excites you and you've got a dream that really excites you, that should help pull you through, right? Okay. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason that I found is that they're kind of hoping for, these people that are lazy and unmotivated, they're kind of hoping for a miracle. They're hoping that some outside force is going to come in and change their circumstances, right? Now, I'm a big believer in, spirituality, and the universe, the power of the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, right? I have a lot of belief in those things. I don't really assign myself to one religion personally. I think there's an element of truth to all religions. But from my own perspective, I do believe, like in miracles I believe miracles can happen essentially. But, okay, that's only part of life. Miracles don't happen that often. That's why it's called a miracle, right? Okay. So what I'm saying here is that these people refuse almost to participate in their own rescue because they have a strong belief that a god or a deity or the universe is going to sort out their problems for them, which may happen, but you still have to participate in your own rescue. You still have to be actively trying to change things if you're unhappy with them, okay? So that's really important to know. Okay, so one of the reasons then that there's a lot of people that are lazy and unmotivated is because they're just waiting. They're waiting for someone else or something else to change their circumstances instead of participating in their own rescue. And if you need rescuing for whatever reason, you need rescuing out of a bad job that you don't like, you need rescuing out of a financial situation, don't be waiting on a god or a deity to do that, right? Maybe they will help you and they will guide you and you'll get guidance from them, but ultimately it's up to you. Okay, you have to participate in your own rescue. You have to rescue yourself. You have to save yourself. Okay, no one else is gonna come and save you. Okay, you have to participate in it, and maybe by you actually taking action and trying to solve things, God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, may make things just a tiny bit more easier for you and make that journey a lot easier for you. Okay, so you never know, right? Miracles do happen, but it's not a good idea to wait around for one, because you might be waiting an awfully long time, and that's a long time to be sad and unhappy with your circumstances. Okay, so another reason why people are lazy and unmotivated, and this is a big one, and it's mostly to do with our environment and the things that we do, our behaviors and stuff, and that is they're addicted almost to cheap dopamine. Now, it may not be an actual addiction, although it may actually be, and obviously if you have some form of addiction or anything like that, then it's best to seek medical help for that and go to those help groups like Alcoholics Anonymous and things like that. Those groups really help. So please do seek help if you do feel like you are really addicted to cheap dopamine, whether that's alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever it may be. Okay, so please do seek help. But essentially, let's just go into, like, let's say the average unmotivated and lazy person's life. They're addicted to food that feels really good for them. It could be, which might be why they can't lose weight and be the weight that they want. They watch a lot of Netflix, or play too many video games, or spend too many hours playing video games, spending too many hours watching Netflix. Yeah. Because what this feeds into is that the instant gratification. Now, instant gratification is good, right? And it's, it's obviously there to serve a purpose, but what you've got to understand is that if you want to be someone who's not lazy and unmotivated, you have to steer away from these things that are instant gratification. Okay? You have to steer towards the long term, right? And it may have to be painful in the moment, or a bit of a grind in the moment, or a lot of effort in the moment, but ultimately over time it's actually going to really, really pay off. Okay? So that's the kind of dopamine that you need to get. You need to get the sort of like the long-term sort of dopamine hits, okay? And sometimes just by achieving a goal, it could be just checking off your to-do list, might be one of those like nicer sort of like really easy pieces of dopamine that you can get that can give you the same feeling as binge watching Netflix, binging on video games or food or whatever it may be that is your vice, okay? So it seems to me that a lot of people are addicted to, or very susceptible to these cheap dopamine hits, right? As opposed to trying to sort of like rewire that and get the dopamine from other places, such as checking off their to-do list, and finishing their goals, finishing their projects and things like that that they may be working towards. Okay, so these are my personal reasons, the personal things that I've gone through to see, from my own research, basically what is in common with most lazy and unmotivated people. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.